Hello and welcome to NDTV 24/7. I'm Priyanshi Sharma. 4 soldiers were killed and 2 were injured in an attack on an army camp in Jammu and Kashmir's Rajouri. 2 terrorists who tried to scale a fence to enter the army camp were shot dead. This was the first major terrorist attack on an army facility in Jammu and Kashmir since February 2018. Here's a report.
Darhal in Rajouri, the site of the first terror attack on an Indian army camp in 4 years. By the time the encounter ended, 4 soldiers were killed. Both terrorists had been eliminated. These are India's brave hearts who were killed fighting this terror attack. Subedar Rajendra Prasad, Rifleman Manoj Kumar and Rifleman Lakshmanan D. Police said the Lashkar-e-Toiba was behind the attack and that the 2 terrorists involved are not locals. Police said terrorists first lobbed grenade on sentry post, killed the sentry and eventually occupied the sentry post.
जो नियरेस्ट पोस्ट था उस पे ग्रेनेड फेंका, वहाँ पे जो संतरी था वो एक्सपायर्ड, उसको उसकी जद में आके जो है संतरी जो है वो एक्सपायर हुआ और फिर एंट्री करके ये उस जो है वो अंदर आके फिर फायर किया और वो संतरी पोस्ट भी ऑक्यूपाई कर ली और फिर फायर फाइट में जो है वो 2 टेररिस्ट जो है मार गिराए गए और इसमें फौज का भी नुकसान हुआ है। इनिशियल 3 कैजुअल्टीज हुई हैं।
Among the recoveries are armor-piercing steel bullets and grenades. Senior police officials say the terrorists, who are likely from Pakistan, had come to carry out an OD-like attack where 18 soldiers were killed in September 2018. The attack had triggered India's surgical strike on Pakistan.
For last 1 year, militancy is spreading to areas in Jammu that have largely remained free from militancy. There have been a series of incidents, including some major attacks in the region. Today's attack is the first Fidayeen attack on army since February 2018.
In February 2018, terrorists barged into army installation in Sujwan in Jammu. 5 soldiers and a civilian were killed. In February 2019, a suicide rammed an explosive-laden car to CRPF bus, killing 40 CRPF personnel. In October 2021, 9 soldiers were killed during a month-long anti-terrorist operation in Poonch. It was first time after 18 years the area witnessed such an operation. April 2022, terrorists attacked a CISF bus in Jammu. 2 security forces personnel were killed. The attack has come just a day after police recovered 25 kg IED in Pulwama on Wednesday. The incident, despite a massive security presence and relentless anti-terrorist operations, is a major concern for the security forces ahead of August 15. With Nazir Masoodi, Usama Shah for NDTV.
Moving now to an exclusive interview with the new Bihar Deputy Chief Minister. Tejashwi Yadav says that the JDU-RJD alliance was the need of the hour. He said that if Modi can become the Prime Minister, why not Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar? He also appealed for opposition unity to fight the BJP. He says that central agencies are being used as cells of the BJP and he invited them to his home.
Is he somebody who would be best placed to lead an opposition alliance? There are so many claimants to that job.
He has qualities, he has experience, he has administration experience, he has a social experience. He's been except Rajya Sabha, he's been into all the houses. He was a union minister.
So he's well qualified.
Yes, obviously. Tell me. Compare anyone. If Narendra Modi ji can become PM, then why not Nitish ji? Anyone can become PM. If he can become PM, then anyone can become PM. And through you, I can say all the opposition party to sit together and let's make a roadmap. Be clear. Let's make a strategy. We are too late for this. We have to do something. People of this country need an option. They want a face against Narendra Modi ji. आज जहाँ ऑपोजिशन की जहाँ सरकारें हैं वहाँ वो बीजेपी के लोग तोड़ रहे हैं। हाईजैक कर रहे हैं, चाहे धन या बल के जरिए। लेकिन बिहार में जहां एक ऐसा काम करके दिखाया है जो एक मैसेज पूरे देश में गया है कि आप लड़िए, आप खड़े रहिए, आप डरो मत। और वाकई में आप कह सकते हैं दिस विल वर्क एज अ बूस्टर
to the opposition.
to the opposition all over the country.
So the message to other opposition parties you're saying is don't be scared, you can stand up to the BJP. That's what you're saying.
Yes, obviously.
You don't think Nitish Kumar's credibility politically has been hurt by these flip-flops, political flip-flops?
See, Nitish ji is a very experienced politician. He has the most experienced chief minister of this country. He was the union minister also. He is the member of Bihar Vidhan Parishad. He used to be a member of Bihar Vidhan Sabha. He used to be member of Lok Sabha. So he is a very experienced man. We cannot say that credibility has gone down. Otherwise, why BJP, they didn't come all alone and for the election? Why they were dependent on Nitish Kumar ji? Why never, जो देश दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी पार्टी, उसका कोई नेता क्यों नहीं बना? क्यों हमेशा जो है डिपेंडेंट रहे वो नीतीश कुमार जी?
बट कब तक रहेंगे आप उप मुख्यमंत्री? मुख्यमंत्री कब बनेंगे?
आप ये कह सकती हैं कि अभी बच्चा पैदा ही हुआ है, आप मंडे की डेट पूछ रहे उससे, तो ये बात कौन कब क्या रहेगा नहीं रहेगा ये किसको पता है? तो ये क्वेश्चन अभी एग्जिस्ट इतनी जल्दी तो करता नहीं। लेकिन हाँ, आई कैन से अब जो कमबैक हुआ है नीतीश जी का, एक पूरे दिल से आए हैं, अब पूरे जोरदार तरीके से आए हैं।
Tejashwi Yadav and Nitish Kumar made a joint appearance again after being sworn in as the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar. Nitish Kumar strongly refuted the BJP's charge that he walked out of the alliance with the BJP after his aspirations to be the Vice President were rebuffed. The new government will face a floor test in a special session of the Bihar Assembly later this month.
The Chief Minister and his Deputy, Tejashwi Yadav, posed at the Bihar Assembly on day one of the state's new government. But the controversies over the split with the BJP still to be addressed. Nitish Kumar today hit back at the BJP's allegations that he dished the BJP because he wanted to be Vice President.
They approached our ministers, senior ministers in Bihar, and they asked that if it is possible, please make some effort so that Nitish Kumar could become Vice President of India.
एक आदमी को देखे नहीं कि क्या बोल दिए मेरे बारे में, क्या हम उपराष्ट्रपति बनना चाहते थे? क्या मजाक है? एकदम बिल्कुल बोगस बात है। आप लोग जानते नहीं, आप लोग नहीं पूछे हमसे। बेचारे आप बोल रहे हैं, आप जानते ही हैं, उनको तो कुछ बनाया नहीं। तो आजकल बोल रहे हैं, तो जो लोग भी बोल रहे हैं तो अच्छा है, वो इतना बोले मेरे खिलाफ कि उनको फिर जगह मिल जाए। अब तो वो सारी बातों से इनकार करेंगे, क्योंकि उनका एक और एकमात्र उद्देश्य है कि हम प्रधानमंत्री के उम्मीदवार बने, प्रधानमंत्री बने।
Tejashwi Yadav too had a rebuttal against the BJP's charges of the return of Jungle Raj. All the more given Tejashwi's viral promise of 10 lakh government jobs during the 2020 Bihar election campaign. Promises apart, the new government still needs a new cabinet and also has to go through a trust vote delayed by 2 weeks since the Nitish Tejashwi government want the current speaker, a BJP MLA, to quit, only possible when the assembly convenes 2 weeks from now. With Rajesh Gupta, Habib Ali and Manish Kumar, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
The Supreme Court clarified that freebies and social welfare schemes are two different things, observing that a balance has to be struck between the economy losing money and welfare measures on the other side. The Supreme Court also ruled out the possibility of considering a plea for de-recognizing parties for making promises to give freebies. Let's look at what the court said. The court said that money for freebies is coming from taxpayers' money, and that is why it is an important issue for the economy. The court also said freebies are needed for welfare of the downtrodden, but the economic aspect is important. It said that we need an expert body of the ruling party, opposition members and other entities to discuss the issue, and the top court told the centre that submit a proposal on independent body within a week. And the Freebies debate has already put the Kejriwal-led Delhi government on a collision course with the centre today in round 2 of the Freebies battle. The Delhi Chief Minister accused the Modi government of waiving the taxes of the rich only to impose them on the poor.
पहली बार एक गरीब आदमी की गेहूं और चावल के ऊपर टैक्स लगाया गया, खाने पीने की चीजों पे टैक्स लगाया गया। और केंद्र सरकार ने पेट्रोल और डीजल के ऊपर इतना टैक्स लगा रखा है, हर रोज बताते हैं 1000 करोड़ रुपए का, 1000 करोड़ रुपए की पेट्रोल और डीजल से टैक्स पे आमदनी होती है। ऐसे देश आत्मनिर्भर कैसे बनेगा? इन्होंने बहुत सुपर रिच लोगों के, जो अरबपति लोग हैं, ऐसे लोगों के इन्होंने 10 लाख करोड़ रुपए के कर्जे माफ कर दिए। इस देश का आम नागरिक आज ठगा हुआ महसूस कर रहा है।
इसलिए ही मैं कहता हूं कि शॉर्टकट अपनाने से शॉर्ट सर्किट अवश्य होता है। शॉर्टकट पर चलने के बजाय हमारी सरकार समस्याओं के स्थायी समाधान में जुटी है।
And Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman countered Kejriwal's allegations. She said that Kejriwal is giving a perverse twist to the debate on freebies. She said that health and education have never been called freebies. No Indian government has ever denied them. So classifying education and health as freebies, Kejriwal is trying to bring in a sense of worry and fear in the minds of the poor. With this, the finance minister demands a debate on the distribution of freebies. Moving on, Mandeep Kaur, an Indian woman and mother of 2 daughters, died by suicide in the United States, citing domestic abuse by her husband for not giving birth to a son. Almost 2 weeks after her death, her family awaits her body. NDTV spoke to her brother and Yogita Bhayana, who's assisting the family in getting justice. Her brother questions both the Indian government and the American government.
जो चाहता हूं मैं सुनने के लिए, वो ऐसा एक वर्ड भी अभी तक मुझे सुनने को नहीं मिला है जिससे हमारे दिल को सुकून मिल जाए। मेरे मम्मी पापा का आज ये हाल है कि आप सोच भी नहीं सकते कि ये ना हो कि न्याय के चक्कर में हमारी फैमिली में और कोई नुकसान हो जाए।
Right, Yogita, as he points out that it's such a big issue, it has gained international headlines. Despite all of that, why do you think it's so difficult for these governments to get the body back to India?
I don't think so, Arun. It is difficult. Rather, I would say that it is not their priority because these people are very innocent without any resources. I mean, I connected with them. I felt their, their plight. I really could not bear. I really wanted to do something. I reached out to Sandeep, and when I heard that they've not even heard a word from diplomacy, or you can say the embassy, from governments, in spite of a complaint went through them earlier also. I have also written to Mr. Jaishankar. I have written, in fact, I have spoken to his office. He said, give us in writing. That has also been more than 48 hours. And I'm running a petition on change.org, which has gathered very good momentum. A lot of people are signing it.
China has shielded a terrorist again, while all other 14 members of the United Nations Security Council agreed to impose sanctions on Pakistan-based terrorist Abdul Rauf Asghar. Only one country, China, put it on hold. The Indian government sources said that China blocking the blacklisting of the deputy chief of Pakistan-based terror outfit Jaish-e-Mohammed exposes double standards in fighting terrorism, and they said that it undermined the sanctity of the United Nations. Asghar was involved in numerous terror attacks, including the attack on the Indian Parliament in 2001. And former US President Donald Trump said that he declined to answer questions while appearing under oath in a New York State Attorney General's civil probe into alleged fraud at his family business. Trump said that he had no choice but to invoke the right to remain silent to protect against self-incrimination.
Former President Donald Trump invoked the Fifth Amendment and declined to answer questions from the New York Attorney General in her investigation into his business dealings. This was part of a more than 3-year civil investigation into whether the Trump organization misled lenders, insurers and tax authorities by providing them misleading financial statements. But Trump's supporters defended him at a time when he's attempting a comeback to contest the next presidential election.
Those who think that they're so entrenched in the deep swamp that they're untouchable, unreachable, and unaccountable, they can do whatever they want to with impunity, they're going to have to learn there's going to be a new sheriff in town.
It's been a very challenging week for Trump. The FBI raided his resort Mar-a-Lago in Florida as well as his residence in connection with an investigation into the handling of classified documents from his time as president. Bureau Report, NDTV.